Hey, MCE crew, the Nets have banned Kyrie Irving because he will not submit to a particular medical treatment. And this is a cautionary tale. This is something that we need to pay attention to for several reasons. Number one, because look, I'm always saying that what you need to do is you need to get your financial house in order such that you are not reliant on a job. We're seeing in the last video we did, we talked about what's going on at Southwest Airlines. Now we see what's happening with Kyrie Irving. Okay, other people are making decisions that are impacting folks' ability to eat and pay rent or mortgage, put clothes on the backs of their children, that sort of thing. Now I know this message is not going to be picked up by the majority of Americans. Okay, even if all Americans heard this message, only a few would have the message resonate. And I'm fine with that. But look, we see what's going on in real time, in reality. This is not a joke. This man makes millions of dollars. And, you know, he has a life to support based on the income that he's been able to generate due to, his ability, his athletic ability. Fine. I don't have any problem with folks making a lot of money off of sports. If you can find someone to pay you to play basketball or football or whatever, hey, do it. Do it. But this is, again, a cautionary tale for another reason. Look, I don't care how you feel about the certain medication that organizations and the government are demanding that employees take. Just keep this in mind. This is precedent setting. The Trojan horse, if you want to think of it that way, is this particular incident. But what comes after this? What does this make it easier for the government to demand you do in the future? They've already set the precedent here, or they're establishing a precedent that says that you will not eat unless you do what we say, okay? And this is, again, why I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm dealing with this and how I think people should deal with this situation going forward. I want to say something about, and a lot of people out there are confused. What do I do? I've got to work. I've got to make money. You have to make money. You don't necessarily have to work for the man. And even if you do, who's to say that's supposed to be your only source of income? Okay? So if you spent a lifetime building a certain career and you enjoy what you do, okay, that doesn't have to be your only source of income. In the 21st century, as we move into the mid part of this century, you're going to have to understand that you got to have multiple streams of income. Just a job is not going to do it. And I don't know why people still think that that's the answer. Remember, in 2020, millions of people got laid off. Millions of people lost their incomes, okay? Even a lot of businesses closed. I always tell you about the restaurants that my wife and I frequented that are now, gone, out of business. I hope that those restaurants were not the only source of income for the employees or the owners. Let's get into this issue with Kyrie Irving. The Brooklyn Nets have banned 29-year-old Kyrie Irving from both games and practice until he gets a certain medication. You all know what I'm talking about. Just 1 week before the team kicks off their regular season against the Bucks. You might see me looking at a screen, and the reason I'm doing that, I'm watching a stock, but don't let that take away from what we're doing here. Just doing a little multitasking, guys. The star point and shooting guard will even be barred from playing during away games, the vast majority which will be held in locations where there's no local mandate for the certain medication. The Nets said they won't allow Irving to be deemed part-time in terms of his availability for games. So I don't follow sports, but presumably Mr. Irving has submitted to test and, other precautions and procedures set forth by his employer. And look, let's just be clear about that. These guys make a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they are employees. And when you are an employee, there is a large aspect of control that you do not have over your financial destiny. The move comes after Irving missed Monday's preseason loss to the 76ers over his refusal to get the certain medication. This is some gobbledygook from the team. Given the evolving nature of the situation and after thorough deliberation, we have decided Kyrie Irving will not play or practice with the team until he is eligible to be a full participant, said the team in a statement. Kyrie has made a personal choice, and we respect his individual right to choose. Currently, the choice restricts his ability to be a full-time member of the team. Think about that. And we will not permit any member of our team to participate with part-time availability. I used to work for Verizon, and I have learned that Verizon has said that they will, if you do not have a certain medication and you get a certain ailment and you need to take sick time, they will not pay you for that sick time. Now, if you're from Verizon and if you're currently working for Verizon, that is incorrect. You tell me, okay, and I'll retract this. But that is what I'm hearing from Verizon employees, current employees. Now, I'm waiting for a Verizon employee, especially one in the union, to sue Verizon for that, because when you have provisions in their unionized contract that says you can have a certain amount of sick leave, it certainly doesn't specify what illness you can have in order to avail yourself of that sick leave. Let's go on here. But that's another example of what I'm trying to show you, is that these employers, this is a precedent that is being set. The government put it out there, and now the employers, the people that, make it possible for you to have some sort of financial, wherewithal in the society by being able to pay your bills, they're colluding in order to set a precedent that says if you don't do what the government wants you to do, then we will take away your livelihood. And it's happening with a very highly compensated athlete here. So what do you think that's going to mean for your job where you work? Now, let me say this. As I said in the last video, what you decide in conjunction with your medical professional, that's up to you. You can do what you want, I don't care. But the problem I have here, again, and I cannot stress this enough, is that this is a precedent. This is a precedent that's going to rob you of your economic liberty, right? You let this stand, then, they can certainly do it to this guy that's making millions and millions of dollars. You can certainly, somebody making what, $40 an hour? Come on, doesn't stand a chance. It is imperative that we continue to build chemistry as a team and remain true to our long-standing established values of togetherness and sacrifice. What the hell? This is the NBA, okay? Togetherness and sacrifice. They're talking like they walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. What is this? Our championship goals for the season have not changed. And to achieve these goals, each member of our organization must pull in the same direction. So now that means you must not only come to practice every day, but you must also submit to demands we make on you in your personal life in order to get this money. We are excited for the start of the season and look forward to a successful campaign, blah, blah, blah. Irving earns $400,000 per game and forfeited some $817,000 in salary in January after missing 2 games to take part in a league-ordered quarantine after attending a birthday party in a club. He earned around $35 million last season and was slated to earn $36.6 million this year. the last year of his contract. So this guy is really standing on principle. And I mean, look, I don't know how long he can hold out. I'm not paying this guy's bills. Okay. I don't know what he's going to do. But I do know that if you're making $36 million, you have maybe you have a $25 million lifestyle. Okay. Ain't cheap. So he has to live. I'm not sure what he's going to do, and I don't begrudge him for whatever decision he makes personally. However, you can clearly see that, again, they're establishing a paradigm whereby you will be obedient or you will be separated from your livelihood and your income. How do you deal with that? All right, look. Broken record time. You got to go out there, establish your own business, start to invest. Remember, if you look at Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, he's got those last two areas of the quadrant as business owner, and then the highest form of cash flow being the investor. You could sit at home and conceivably be the biggest investor in the world, and no one knows your name. Okay, you just receive dividend checks for the rest of your life. Now, of course, that would help you avoid situations where you're being told what to do in order to keep your income. But practically, I think that what you need to do, if this concerns you, is you should definitely at least start to establish some additional streams of income. Look for opportunities to do just that. This platform could be one. Now, anything you're going to get into is going to take time to establish. So if you want to start another stream of income, now might be the time for you to really start looking into that and making some things happen. This world is changing rapidly, and it will not wait for you to get comfortable with the notion of making some changes so that you can be financially independent. Guys, I will talk to you soon.